We're gonna figure it out, though. We got this.
Yeah, remember,
Daphne.
it's 1/4 of an edible, not 4 edibles.
This was a new one, so I'm not
Was
really
God
sure
gonna
what
come
the
in through the
direction
door
said.
again?
I don't know. We're gonna find out. Okay, good morning, everyone. It is January 23rd, 2023.
Oh, God.
And you're watching this shit, the Raging 2, the vlogs.
Oh,
good morning.
Good morning.
All right, Daphne, you ready for this?
Absolutely not, but hit it.
Oh my fucking God.
The edibles kicked in.
No.
God came in the room. It's like, you're not supposed to be playing that. What is that?
Go.
What?
Oh my.
The views and opinions expressed within the video content found on the Indie Comics Network are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of the Indie Comics Network or its sponsors.
This was 100% karma because this morning I found myself having an ego thinking how long it's been since I made a rookie mistake.
Well, you know, it's live. Look, it's
0 days.
Like I said, it's been 0 days since nonsense. You know, what is it? It's like, look, it's live streaming. It's like I always compare it to karaoke. Nobody goes to karaoke to hear somebody belt out Whitney Houston at perfect pitch. so you know what? It's fine. Everyone will.
I'm just Nita and Daphne. Introduce yourself so we can get this shit started.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, we have a big hour today. Big fat hour today. So yes, my name is Daphne Lage. I'm a cartoonist, illustrator, and comic book artist from New York. I have been self-publishing comics since 1992, and I am known for the furry fantasy adventure Tall Tales, which launches this coming Friday. Tall Tales: The Peacekeepers, collected in a new trade paperback. This mini series. If you've never heard of Tall Tales before, this is a one-shot mini series. Probably the best way that you could pick up Tall Tales right now because it's a one and done. But there's also everything else associated with Tall Tales, all the 4 previous volumes as well. Is going to be available. So make sure you hit the links in the show notes and hit the go to the launch page and do all the things. Press all the buttons so you get notified when this goes live. And I'm also known for my medieval fantasy soap opera drama, Eagle Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn, which returns to Kickstarter late spring 2023 with issue 6. Yes, we're on issue 6 already. But there's a lot going on. So let me get through this. And remember, and also before I forget, we actually have House of Bob this Saturday, coming this Saturday already. We're at the end of the month with special guest Max DeVille will be joining us on our Dirty Art session, where we will be spending time having conversations and drawing artwork that's not suitable for the day crowd. As a result, this is an adults only stream. So Saturday, 8 to 10 p.m. Keep an eye out for that as well. In the meantime, you can read both my comics online at Tall Tales, TAILS online.com and egoworks.com, EGOWORKS. And you can check out all my videos on how I make my comics here on YouTube at my channel at Daphne Lage, Lage Art, which also simulcasts through the Indie Comics Network. So make sure, you come on over to YouTube, join the sexy people in the chat, hit all the buttons that you need to, the like, the subscribe, the thumbs up, the thumbs down. The algorithm doesn't care. It reads everything the same. Hit the notification bell so that you get notified every time we go live. And speaking of going live and and the edibles definitely kicking in to explain everything else.
No.
Nita.
I'm not going to explain anything. We have two networks, Indie Comics Network and Indie Comics Network After Dark. After Dark is our more sultry side, and this is our basic brand, I guess, would be our home brand, main brand, whatever.
Right. Yeah,
we're here, and get used to it. And so let's see.
We're
I'm just Nita.
not used to this.
I'm just Nita. Find my link tree. Link tree / Indie Comics Network.
All the links are in the show notes below. And yes, thank you. I see you, the 11 people. It was 12, now it's 11. Somebody had to go to the bathroom, obviously. So I see you, the 11 people next to the giant eyeball on my screen, watching us from regions beyond. Like I said, if you're watching us from Facebook, if you're watching us from Twitter, come on over to YouTube. And who's the sexy people in the chat joining us?
I gotta find them.
Oh,
we got Patrick, Alison,
hello,
Mike, Jimmy. Oh my gosh, Mike Jimmy's in the chat. Jody McPhee. Let's see, did I say Patrick? Chad, Dill.
Right.
I'm sorry, Dill. Joe Bachman, Carl Witzman.
Oh,
like
wow,
everybody. Hello, folks.
Wow, everybody coming. Oh, and Mike Jimmy's mother-in-law. From what
you know what we should probably do?
What?
Throw some bumps and bring him in.
Oh, that's
they're
true.
here
Yeah,
for
he's
him,
sweating.
not us,
he's sweating right there. You see all the water coming out. So
all right,
okay,
so check
let's
out
do
these 2 bumps for 2 shows we got coming up, and then we'll bring on the man of the hour.
Oh, hello there. You just caught me in the middle of making a drink. While I'm doing that, here's a disembodied voice that'll talk to you about what this commercial is about.
Shots with Comics is a comic show on the Indy Comics Network after dark. Join some drunk people as they talk about what's going on in the comic world, what comics they are reading, and of course, all cohole. Mondays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Indy Comics Network after dark. We will offend, anger, and make you uncomfortable. Join us!
oh boy. Are you absolutely sure about this, Toyvin?
Absolutely certain, Ogson. If there was any other way, I'd consider it.
Let's do it then.
The stones are stable. Follow my lead.
So, what do you know about the Aquanids?
I'll tell you later.
Ta-da! And the man of the hour.
Exhausted from a year's worth of animating. Here is Mike Jimmy.
What up, lovelies? Oh my god, it feels so good to be with you guys again. It's ages. Oh man.
Oh no. But so big day today for Mike Jimmy. And for those of you who are joining us for the first time and do not know who Mike Jimmy is because you've been hiding under a rock or in the bathroom at least, Mike Jimmy, introduce yourself.
Hey everyone, I'm Mike Jimmy DeBruin, CEO of Fairies and Ents and creator of Lage and Cora, which will be launching the first volume today. So that's why I'm here. I've been making comics for the past 5 years. Been a publishing house for about the same time as well. And currently publishing 6 series. So besides Lage and Cora, we have Tall Tales. Gee, I wonder by who. The Oswald Chronicles, Bloodwing Angel Chronicles, The Saint Killer, and The Radiant Sight. So we got a lot going for us already, and this is just another step in the right direction.
No, absolutely. You know, it's like just introducing more indie comics into the European market, so they all know what they're missing.
There's so much to miss.
Yeah, and no, for real, really, it's like Oh man, especially some of the conventions that you've been showing, it's like that they're just completely wild, you know. It's like the one, like there's one called Castle Fest where it's like, oh holy moly, it's like Coachella meets Renaissance Fair meets comic convention meets book fair, and it's like I can't wait for you to do that again, because it's like you know, just the thought of having Tall Tales being sold in an actual castle is just
okay. It's not going to be in a castle. It's going to be on castle grounds.
Well, that close enough for me.
Same difference,
right? It's like, look, it's either in the castle or where the siege happens. Either way, we're good. We're good. Oh my goodness. So tell us, okay, so before I guess we launch, so how do you want to do this? I mean, it's like, you want to tell us a little bit about what we're going to be, it's like tell us about your journey up until this point.
Okay.
Give everybody a rundown.
I started making comics because there wasn't, I felt so horrible. I thought I couldn't figure out anything any more masochistic than making comics. So that's what I did. And it's, I never looked back. And that was originally Sage's Sunset, which is a completely different series. It is more along the lines of Tall Tales, so an epic fantasy. Medieval, because yes,
of course.
And that got about 110 pages in, and then the original writer for Cora and I sat down and we're like, okay, we need something that we can just immediately bring out into the world and have a contained story, have something to finish. And I was like, well, I want to make a true fantasy. I don't want any humanoids. I want something completely new. And so I started sketching, and we came up with these weird little creatures, and suddenly there was a 22-page story ready to go and printed out, and I was a publisher. And through literally a joke that I put into issue 1.
It always starts out as a joke, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, like issue 2 turned into a flying tusker where Grund, a side character from issue 1, really wanted to fly. And after that, I finished it. COVID happened 2 weeks before Dutch Comic Con 2020. So it affected everybody. Then the original writer for Cora left. And I decided that this series needed to keep going. And I got 2 new writers on board, Martin Fisher and Kimberly Kovac. And they're still writing for me to this day. They're actually, we're actually starting to publish their new IPs and new ideas by themselves instead of just Cora. And from there we got Octus Climbs, Inner Talents, and Tiny Travels, which will all be in the volume.
I mean, now the thing is, though, so this first book that you were like 110 pages in, is there any future thought of finishing that?
There is the thought of finishing it, but it's going to be a graphic novel series.
Okay.
So it's probably going to be 4 parts of 48 pages each. And I'm not going to be the one drawing it.
Oh, okay.
It's just not what I enjoy drawing.
Right. Oh, okay.
And I've spent the last 5 years drawing all kinds of weird little creatures. I don't have the skills anymore to care about human anatomy.
Oh, okay.
Doesn't help.
It's like,
it's a good way to get back. But,
well, that's true. That's true. I mean, but the thing is, though, it's like so I guess like being able to do like one issues, I guess like these single stories. I mean, that really, I guess, what are like kind of like the pros and cons of that, as opposed to doing like a longer story, like just doing like these one-offs?
On one hand, it's very easy for a reader to get into the series because it makes them less like it feels less daunting to get into a series that is already 5 issues long or more.
Right. Yeah.
Especially when it's an ongoing story. And they look at it and they go, "Oh, do I need to have everything?" And I can actually tell them, "No, like, which cover do you like?
Right.
And grab that one because you're going to have a complete story." On the other hand, because you have very short, contained stories, it can feel rushed. Like some stories can feel a little rushed because we have to contain them in 32-page stories. But yeah, it has its pros, it has cons. There's actually going to be a couple of double features as time progresses. So I'm currently almost done. Good people. I actually recognize some names here.
They're all here for you.
Yeah, no, I'm it's fun. But we're gonna do some double features as well. So instead of 32 pages, we're gonna have 64. But yeah, this one is going to have the first 5 issues in the series. So it's gonna show the progression in the art as well as the just the world building going on in the background. Like it's gonna feel a lot more coherent as a whole.
Right.
Even though they're still standalone stories, like all of them can be read separately.
Right, but there's like kind of like an because it's like I've always said that your book reminds me of what's his name, Dougal Dixon's Afterman, which is a evolutionary
Yes.
I guess like what speculative evolution,
Speculative evolution, speculative biology, and this is more of a speculative biology. So I set down a couple of rules for this world and told my writers, go have fun in the sandbox. And they just think up all kinds of creature designs and I draw them and they make the stories as long as they keep to the rules. But when it comes to how things work, that's usually something that I'm on.
Right.
So they're just my idea machines, and I actually have to figure out how they work in the world.
Right. It's kind of like the thing is, but it's like it's this whole collaborative effort to help you make the world more cohesive.
Yes.
Now here's the thing, though, with everything that the type of books that we usually see in crowdfunding in general, what made you choose this type of book? Like it's like I said, it's this whole speculative evolution biology, fantasy, and it's really not like anything that's on crowdfunding.
It honestly just happened to be that way. So I'm a science fiction nerd. I'm a fantasy nerd. I love this kind of thing, and I just like speculating. And when I started Lage on Cora, the original writer and I had no idea that speculative biology was a thing. We didn't even know that was some people's hobby. It was just like, I don't want humanoids, but this science fiction megastructure has been made by someone. And so how would it work? What kind of creatures would live on it? And how would those creatures live? And what kind of stories would they tell around their fires, and what kind of niches would they fill? And from there, we just, grew the story. And it was a very natural way of just going into it. Very, very little world building up front, just building it up, honestly. And it's for the fun of it. I tell everyone that I work with, as long as it's fun, you can't go wrong. And
true.
it worked.
Well, what's the biggest? So what's the biggest hurdle so far that you've had? Because just because it's fun doesn't mean it doesn't have its challenges.
The main problem that I always have with my writers is that Cora doesn't have any magic. So to anyone that sees my world workings and background world building and everything, the number one thing that's at the top is there is no magic in this world. And then between brackets, Martin.
I guess he likes that.
I had to stretch a lot of concepts to make his work because he's an amazing writer, but he's used to writing classic fantasy. Magic is fine.
Right, yeah.
It's just hard magic, soft magic, nobody cares.
Oh, here we go. So Jimmy, what is your favorite flora or fauna your idea guys came up with?
Honestly, my favorite concept is the Rockhola. So the main characters from Cora 3, because they're hive mind sentient rock people. They were a stretch to figure out and make them work. That took me weeks to figure out because the story was done, but I had to get things working for myself because I couldn't go, it's magic.
Right. Yeah. You didn't want to do that. Yeah.
Like I don't want this to be a part of that. Like it should not be, it should all be explainable. It can be a stretch, but I should be able to explain it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just got my phone went off. I'm sorry.
Right.
No. It's good. It's all good. It's all good. We're trying to keep the drama at a minimum here. There's enough going on. So this is okay. So you've done, was it 4 or 5 issues before?
5 issues.
5 issues. So this campaign that you're doing. So this is a collection of all those of the 5 issues in one book.
Here we go.
Oh wow! Dang.
Look, your favorite cover artist did that, Daph.
Yeah, I know.
Oh yeah.
But I mean,
Yeah, they did.
it's like I didn't realize how that's a nice beefy book.
Scratch it. I wanted to show her the texture.
So this is actually, let me make myself big for a moment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, go for it.
Because this is not just paper.
Mm-hmm.
On the cover, it's linen.
Oh, dang.
So it's
Look at you
actually
getting all
fabric that's
fancy.
being printed on. This is super fancy. I love it. And this is actually not the final size. It's going to be bigger.
Oh, dang.
It's probably going to be about twice as big.
What, you're doing it kind of like those masterwork sizes?
No. Thicker. Sorry.
Oh, thicker. Okay. All right. Yeah.
Sorry, that was the Dutch list coming.
I don't have shelf space for this.
No,
why? So you're putting in more work, or it's just a different type of paper that you're going to use, or why?
No, there's going to be more work in there.
Oh. Okay.
So besides the 5 stories that are already in the series, there is going to be the 24-hour challenge.
Right. Tell us. Yeah, I mean, definitely tell us more.
Yeah,
about that.
I'll get on that when we go live and we go over the campaign.
Okay,
because it's
sure.
in there as well. But there's also a lot of world building that I did over the last couple of years. And on my right over there is a shelf with a pile of paper this big. I went through every last bit, pulled out every last little thing of Cora that I made over the past years, which was a hassle to actually find.
Yeah, no, I was doing that myself recently with some sketchbooks. It's like, I have this somewhere.
And you're going to get a ton of extras. And
so this is going to be like encyclopedia size.
The peoples are demanding he goes live.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. They want the book. They want the book.
All right. We click the button then.
Yeah, it's like it's time to let's show the preview page first.
Yes. Okay.
Hold on. Okay, so there we go. So so for everybody, so thank you. What is it? I don't see the number clearly on my screen. Well, how many people have signed up so far? for this?
62.
62. So we'd like to thank the 62 people who have been waiting very impatiently for this campaign to finally go live. Because look, it's like just by what you were holding up, this is going to be a really, really gorgeous book. And this is going to go very, very nicely on everybody's next to your copy of Afterman. It'll definitely
All right. Let me
there.
go
So,
click that button.
okay, so here we
Three.
go.
There we go. It's
Uh-huh.
actually drum rolling for me. Holy
Right,
crap.
there
Wow.
we go.
There we are.
Okay, here we go. Finally. Everyone's like, ah! So tell us more about the campaign itself. So how many days is it going to be? What's your goal, and what else can people find on this campaign?
Okay. So it's going to run for 30 days. So just a small month. And you will be able to get the hardcover that I've shown just a moment before, and the soft cover by the colorist for Lage and Cora, Aristine. And she's been meticulously reworking issues 1 and 2.
Oh,
So for the people who actually have issues 1 and 2 as single issues, this book will contain the updated version of both.
oh, very nice. So it's kind of like a remaster, doing like a remastered
Yes.
version of it. So
And
what is it that she's going in that she felt like she needed to go in and change? Or
Everything.
update?
She literally just added a completely new dimension to the
Uh-huh.
whole series. And she's been doing that since issue 3. And the past year, I asked her to rework issues 1 and 2.
Uh-huh.
And so, yeah, that's what you're gonna get.
Right. I guess it's like, I guess it's only fitting. That's like, the more issues you do, the better you get at what you're doing.
Yeah.
And it's like, and it's like the whole, it's like, oh, if I could do it over again, I would do it differently. And here's your opportunity.
No, exactly. Like
Right.
I didn't change any of the inking, but her coloring just like she goes ham. And I don't give her any artistic direction. It's just go have fun. You know what you got to do. You know your restrictions, and enjoy yourself. And she does, and it just turns out so great.
Right. So the 24-hour comic day challenge.
That's right.
Tell us about that. Because you're not masochistic enough, apparently.
Because we're not masochistic enough as is. We are going to do a brand new Life on Cora story in 24 hours.
Wow.
This one is going to be 24 pages. And I'm going to do this together with Kimi Comics as my co-artist. And the writers will be Luz, my girlfriend. So she's going to have her debut into comics, together with Kimi's husband, Gio, who has been writing comics for quite a while, actually. So, yeah, we're going to live stream the whole thing. It will be live here on the Indie Comics Network. It's already been announced.
Oh, so what challenges did you give yourself for 24 hours? Like how hard is this 24 hours going to go?
Well, it's going to be 24 pages in 24 hours. Like it's going to be a challenge no matter what.
Right. Yeah. But I mean, like, is it going to be like based on like a pre-existing story that you made up beforehand?
Nope,
You're making
they're
everything
doing
up
this
from
raw.
scratch.
It's gonna be
Everything
brilliant.
comes in right from the get-go. Like,
So even whatever creature that this is about, you're making it up on the spot. So everything, so nothing about this exists beforehand.
we're probably going to
Cora.
Well,
Cora exists before it. Now,
Right.
what we're probably going to do is put down a basic idea the night before.
Okay.
Because Kimi and Gio are going to join us here the night before, so we can have a normal night's sleep and start at 8 a.m. our time or 2 a.m. Eastern.
Oh, you're going to be streaming for the full 24 hours?
The whole
yeah.
time.
The
Wow.
whole time.
Great.
Right. And okay, so there you go. Oh, and it's going to be broadcast on our
Right
network
here.
as well. Right here. So if you want to see these guys completely kill themselves in 24 hours, you'll be able to watch it in real time.
Oh yeah.
That's
So yeah, the only thing that we're gonna have is probably the concept.
Mhm.
You know, just a basic idea of okay, this is where it's going to go.
right.
And other than that, it's going to be straight into storyboarding, scripting, like doing the whole shebang in 24 hours.
Right.
It's going to be good.
No, really, really. You know, so okay, so you have the hardcover edition and the soft cover. Now, all this extra stuff. Now, is aside from the hardcover being hardcover,
Yeah.
is there anything else that makes the hardcover more special, I guess to say, than the soft
Yes, because it's going to be numbered.
cover? Mm-hmm.
It is going to be signed. And on the inside cover, I will create an original sketch for every person
Wow.
that backs it.
Dang.
So you're going to get a full color sketch.
Right. Wow, a full color. Wow.
I'm
It's like so
going to
that,
go the full way.
right. You're gonna go all ham.
This dude is like so kinked out.
Right. Yeah, I know, really. You know, it's like no, but I mean it's very, very exciting. You know, it's like your first hardcover. And that's yeah, I mean it's like, you know, hardcovers are just so much fun.
They are. They're great. So yeah, we're getting going the full mile, and we're going to start at about 170 pages.
Mm-hmm.
And as we're scrolling by the stretch goals, yes, this book will get over 200 pages if we manage to hit our 5,000 euro goal,
Right.
our 5,000 euro stretch goal.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to make it happen
Right.
at
No,
1,500 euros. Like that's when things will be printed and you will get your book, but it will not be as big as if we hit 5,000.
Right. Oh, I see. Right. So it's like, so is it going to be both like the hardcover and the soft cover getting all the
Yes.
extra? Right. Okay. So there you go. So yeah. So I guess it's like the more people who pledge, the thicker the book is going to get.
Oh yeah, no, you're getting more and more for your buck the longer it goes.
Right.
And that's the thing too. Like these people help me crowdfund a new book, so the fans should get the most out of it.
Right. No, absolutely, absolutely. So, should we play the trailer for
Sure.
the Kickstarter? Let's see. So there we go. And thank you to the 3 people who have pledged so far
You
to
rock.
the campaign. Yes, you do. Absolutely. Let's see. So let's. There we go. Now here's okay. So again, because you're not masochistic enough, because wait, there's more.
There is definitely more.
You know, so that intro was completely animated by you.
That's right.
And you know, and so tell us what brought you to that. You know, it's like on top of a comic, on top of everything. It's like you decided you were going to sit down. It's like, you know what? I'm going to teach myself animation on top of everything.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just another skill I want to learn, and what I found is, tell the people, well, words. Where do I want to go with this again? Right.
You see, because that's what doing all this stuff does. It
Yeah,
melts your brain
it
and
gets
it's-
you better at understanding your own craft, you know, and the comics for Love and Cora are always the goal. And it will never be any different. It will just be to grow myself as a creator.
Yeah, yeah. Oh.
Ooh.
Oh.
I'm giving Nita some slack.
Oh, okay. All right.
Good. I was just about to ask you too, because I'm gonna go spam the groups.
I figured.
Okay, there you go.
But yeah, like I am a very cartoony creator. You will find that in all of my work. And one of the best ways to teach yourself cartooning and to understand motion and get better at that is to grow, to start animating. And it's always been a skill that's eluded me.
Right, yeah.
And then I figured, you know what? The only thing that's keeping me is me. And I've heard people ask for Lage on Cora animations since day one. Like even before I finished issue 1, they were like, "Ooh, this would be fun animated," and I'm like, "Yeah, it would." I'm not gonna be the guy doing it.
Right. Well, that's
it's so long to that, but it's just been just another step in my journey, and that's why I started Hung on Animation as well, which I do here on the Indie Comics Network too every Thursday night. Is to teach myself animation and to take people along in that journey, because let's be honest, you all start from scratch.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And whether you've been doing this for 30 years or 5 years or 10, 20, 50, it's all still a journey. You're always going to get better. You're always going to improve. And a lot of creators forget that we started somewhere. And Hung on Animation, as well as just me working on Sketchy Saturday and getting inks done and doing art, it shows people that there's effort behind it.
Yeah.
And a lot of people only see your end result. And so the only thing that it's worth to them is that end result. And for a lot of creators, you want to see the work that goes into it and show people, yeah, it's not easy.
Right.
And everyone that actually creates comics is going to tell you it is not easy. But there's nothing more fun than doing this.
Yeah. I mean, I think that what gets lost in the whole discussion about AI and whatnot, because I mean, if there's anything that shows that people think is the end result that matters, not anything else, is the whole discourse around AI. And the thing, and what I've heard is that AI was created to solve a problem that didn't exist, which was we didn't need our efforts streamlined. You know, it's like that in the end, that for artists, it's the effort. Even though I say a lot of times that I'm not a process person, but in the end, it is the process that makes you respect the end result. You know, that's really what it is. It's kind of like, you know, people who get your stuff for free. I mean, no, people who, it's like, it was something like, you know, like people who like, they just kind of see your end result and they kind of like, you know, they kind of feel entitled to your stuff for free. Treat it like it's worth nothing, you know. I mean, and that's kind of the issue that we keep bumping up against. And it's like, the point of a lot of these shows, a lot of, you know, you streaming and, you know, and our streaming is to show that this is the effort. This is what it takes to get to that final piece that way too many of you are too dismissive of. You know,
the biggest problem with AI is that you misunderstand what effort is like.
Yeah.
And for anyone doing a physical job, and actually not even a physical job, if you're doing programming or if you're doing an IT job, you're building something.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be hard, and you're going to have roadblocks, and you're going to have someone tell you, no, this isn't good enough.
Right, yeah.
And you're realizing that because it wasn't easy, the end result makes you just have a nice deep content sigh and go, yeah, I did this.
Right, yeah.
This is mine.
Yeah.
I controlled this. Like this, I built this.
Yeah. This is the result of all my effort.
Exactly.
Right. I didn't just put like keyword. I didn't just like do a glorified Google search. You know?
Essentially,
Right,
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Now with animating though, like because animating is something that like I know it intimidates me. I know it intimidates a lot of people, but at the same time, the way technology is set up, we can do this now really on our own. Although Ralph Bakshi would argue that you could always do animation on your own, you know,
Yeah.
but at least the technology now just makes it a lot easier to do. So was there like a hump you kind of had to get over? Like there's always, when we're always learning something, there's always some part of ourselves we have to get over, you know, in order to kind of like push into it. So it's like, what made you was there a hump when you go, okay, I'm going to teach myself animation, but what was like that main wall you had to break through?
So the way I started animation, like I got Clip Studio Paint EX a couple of years ago because it's great for making comics,
Right.
and it has pretty decent animation tools. It's not the greatest. It's known to not be the greatest, but
Right.
it's really, really nice to use once you get used to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to get used to it. So I literally made a 1 second animation, and I can show you of Atsy flying around the core.
Uh-huh.
Let me see, trailer. This one. Yeah, just open it in there. And whoop.
So this is the, I remember this.
Yeah. So this is literally the first thing I ever did in animation.
Uh-huh.
And from there, I started to get a feel for, okay, so that's what motion feels like on cell animation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, these are 2s and 3s. Like it's there's not much motion going on. It's still pretty stiff. It's getting there. And from there, I immediately jumped into the intro, and I had to teach myself to storyboard for an animation. It's nothing like comics.
Huh.
Like, yeah, you're going to look at a comic and be like, okay, that could work as an animation storyboard. No, no, it can't.
It's not the same thing. Yeah.
It's far from it. It's a completely different world. It's a completely different ballpark.
What's the main difference between doing comics and doing storyboards? Because again, too many people seem to think that the two are interchangeable, but there is a difference between the two.
Okay, so where a comic storyboard or a comic will feel like a flow, you know, and you have your people talking, and you have your movement of the camera, and you know, one picture after the other.
Right.
What a lot of people forget is that when you're doing that in animation, you have to capture every emotion in between, you know, people talking, to the camera moving. Like, how does it actually move? How does the background move relatively to, you know, your characters moving? Or are we zooming in? Are we zooming out? And based on that, you have to really plan out every move that happens in the animation. Once you have that down, like you're actually sculpting the entire thing before the work gets done. And if you don't get that right, every part of every step of the animation afterwards is going to be hell. Where with comics, it's a lot easier to be like, no, I don't like the panel drawn like this. I'm just going to do it like that.
Right. Yeah.
With this, you know, you would have to change the background, have characters lip sync completely different, all kinds of things. Like you're directing from the start. Where comics, like you're following the script. this doesn't follow a script. This is you creating a visual script.
So animation just requires a lot more planning
Yes.
than right. So what's the end goal for your animation right now? So you did this trailer, you did this intro, and now you're animating an entire episode, I guess,
That's
entire issue.
Yeah, an entire issue. The entirety of Love and Cora Volume 5, Issue 5, Tiny Travels. With you guys as voices together with Nick Tucker.
That was very
all-star cast.
Oh, that total typecast, and I love you guys. That was so much fun.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting to do because it's like because it's just really funny. Like even when I try to do like voiceovers for my own like audiobook tests or whatnot, doing voices like speaking like that is a lot different than speaking casually like we are now. Like there's just a lot more control tonally that you need for everything to come out correctly.
Yes.
It's like
it's a lot of work.
Yeah. So are you going to so like I said, so what's the end goal for all of this for your animation?
To get this done. To be able to show it off to people and tell the world I did this.
Right.
I did this together with awesome people like you guys and Nick Tucker and Dan Hollifield, who did the awesome intro music and will do the musical score for the entire thing when he's done.
So the music is original.
Yes, completely original.
Wow. Okay, because I was going to ask you. I was like, is this something? Like how did you get the music so perfect? It's like, it's original to it.
Yeah,
so,
I finished the entire intro, and then Hollifield and I had been talking on and off because he does a podcast. Way late for you guys.
Right.
My early morning.
I show up sometimes.
Yeah, you show up sometimes. Exactly.
Last man standing in the middle of the freaking night.
Exactly.
Just chit chat and fun. And Dan is
fun.
a really cool dude.
But he makes music. He makes science fiction inspired music. And at some point I was done and I was like, hey, Dan, would you be interested in a challenge?
Right. Challenge?
Yeah, exactly. No, you could see the eyebrow raise going, challenge. And I was like, can you make the intro song for Love and Cora? Like for the intro. And he got back to me 2 weeks later. And I was like, wow, this just fits, But yeah, it was completely original, and he still keeps talking about it like it's his biggest baby.
Right, that's funny.
It's so fun.
That's great, because it's like it truly is a collaborative effort. Like honestly, it's like it's like we're so used to comics being a solitary thing, even though there's other people involved. Yeah. Usually it's just a very solitary thing. But so far Life on Cora, it's like the cast gets larger and larger, and that's just the people working on it.
Yes.
Like the circle of people. Because I can't really think of the animation as separate from the comic. Like it's all kind of together. And
it helps that I draw everything. So my hand is on everything. If I were to ask someone else to animate this for me, just pay someone, it would never feel the way I do things.
Right.
Which isn't per se a bad thing. I mean, I'm not the greatest artist in the world, and I will never say I am. I'm pretty proud of what I'm doing. I like my own style. And having my own hand on top on everything means that it feels coherent. It feels like mine.
Right. Yeah. So it may be like in a future campaign you're gonna have like a little DVD of all these episodes.
I love that. Yeah. Yeah. No. Trust me. If it happens to get picked up because I'm not planning on doing more than just this one episode.
Right.
Because we're already looking at like 20 minutes of animation here.
Right.
You know,
that's taken how long? How long has this 20 minutes of animation taken?
So the 20 seconds of animation so far,
right,
has been from I think about May last year.
Right.
Working on and off.
Wow.
So you'd say around 40 to 45 hours per scene.
Right. It's like, there's just one. There's just one thing that so far technology has not been able to do is shorten that process.
Hard work is hard work.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I could go the easier route, and use rigs like you would see in series like Rick and Morty,
right?
And Inside Job, and these are rigged 2D puppets,
right? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it just doesn't appeal to me. And it would feel. I'm not saying it's less work because
right. Yeah, exactly.
You would still have to rig these creatures.
No, because it's like I've seen videos of just people rigging VTubers, and I start sweating whenever I see that. It's like all it is just a puppet just to have on screen. Just being able to do this on screen, and just watching them rig. It's just like, no, I can't do that. I'd rather pay.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's awful.
Yeah.
So this is literally cell by cell by cell animation.
Right. So and also I'm pretty sure it helps too that you have a master animator also giving you tips and tricks as
long live John Celestri. May his glory be great.
There you go. What was like the one thing? Did he give you like one piece of information that kind of like made everything click or made something click? Like, oh my God, I've been trying to figure this out. And he just says, oh, just do this, this, and that. And all of a sudden it's like, oh my God. Did you have that moment with him?
Yes. Well, several times, honestly. Every single time he starts talking about something that I'm struggling with, it just clicks. But one of the biggest things was the feeling of motion. And that is something that a lot of comic creators, when they start getting into comics, actually have a problem with. It's, how do you make a character feel alive? How do you get the center of the perfect middle of the motion?
Right.
And I was just, he was going over that, and he was doing a little sketch of Boba Fett, just shooting his gun, like grabbing it from his holster and shooting it. And he just spent Sketchy Saturday doing that for fun. And with really short, quick cells, he put in so much life into this quick animation. And it just clicked in my head going, oh, so that's a 4. That's on 4s, that's on 2s, that's on 1s.
Right, that's the thing that keeps throwing me off. Those,
it's understanding when something needs to be slower, when something needs to be fluid, and when you can skip.
Right.
For example, if you actually shoot a gun, it's going to be bang.
Right.
This motion is going to be faster than you can register.
Right.
Physically. So you don't draw that. Like, it's going to be a blur.
Right. Yeah.
You maybe see, an in-between.
Right.
But even then, it's going to be useless because the point is to get this motion and then maybe a quick, extra thing to the back and holding it. And stuff like that. And you'll only learn those things as you go.
Right.
It's been really hard. One of the biggest things that helped me was, the Aquanet, the Eleni, Toy Fun and Oxton jumping around, because the impact of their bodies was such a good teaching mechanic for myself. Going, okay, so this is where the bean,
Right.
gets squished and then it stretches
Right.
again. And how would the limbs follow? Because I originally just made beans, and then those beans turned into beans with limbs.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's the whole squash and stretch.
Yeah.
A technique that I think a lot of animation is really missing nowadays. A lot of modern animation. But okay, so here we are. Let's see. So we would like to thank the 7 people who have pledged so far, 402 euros.
I'm actually getting a question. Who's asking to ask how Kickstarter works. So the way Kickstarter works is you decide which pledge you want on the right. If you want a softcover copy, then you can get the 25 euro tier. If you want a Dutch signed softcover copy.
Oh, so you have it in 2 different languages then.
That's right. I actually have it in Dutch.
Yeah.
Whoops. Slipped my mind. Then you can get the second 25 euro tier.
Mm-hmm.
If you want the signed, sketched in, and numbered hardcover, it's a 65 euro tier. And if you select that one, it will take you to the add-ons. With the add-ons, you can select other titles that you might be interested in that we publish. Every book that we have in Fairies and Ends is available. Let me scroll down real quick. Here we go. So all of these books are available as add-ons, as well as the whole package. And from there, you're asked to pay, or at least put in your credit card info and your personal info. If you put those in, and you click pledge to this amount, then it should show up here, and you are from there going to get your rewards once the campaign is over and when we hit our goal.
Right. Yeah. Now the thing is, it's like for people who don't know, with Kickstarter, a pledge is not charged immediately.
Yes.
Pledges are only charged after the campaign ends, and that's also depending if the campaign even reaches its goal. Now, I don't see Mike Jimmy having a problem reaching his goal. I mean, that's so I'm pretty confident that so be confident in pledging to this campaign, because but remember, the more people pledge on top of that, the more pages gets added to the book. So
we're starting with this.
Right. So there's
this
the
fine,
default,
and it's going to be that. It's going to be twice as much. So get yourself.
Right. Exactly. Oh, yeah, I love the way that hardcover sounds.
Oh yeah.
And also for those of you who haven't noticed, the hardcover is done by the one and only Jaden Lanning herself. So if you like collecting Jaden Lanning covers, this is another cover for you to collect.
That's right.
Yes.
That girl is going places.
Oh no, absolutely. Absolutely. Oh my goodness, it's true. It's true. I can't get enough of her work.
Oh yeah.
So we have, so like I said, thank you to the 7 people who have pledged so far. We have 29 days to go, plenty of time. But why wait? Might as well just pledge right now.
If you pledge right now, it means that later you're going to get, you're helping us get to the 5,000 euro goal sooner, where you're going to get a book that is twice as big.
Right, exactly. So it's like, so the sooner you pledge, the better, because it's like you just get more stuff later.
Exactly.
So there we have it. So here is Life on Cora. Again, thank you to the people who have pledged so far. And even if you haven't pledged yet, or you can't pledge, if you cannot pledge for any reason whatsoever, please share out the links, share out the campaign. I mean, it's like, it doesn't mean that, there's nothing you can do to help spread the word about this campaign. Just, share it to social media. That could be just as good as gold on a
Yes.
for a campaign, because like, okay, maybe for some reason you can't pledge to it, but by you sharing it, someone else who can pledge to it or wants to pledge to it will be able to they'll know about it, and they'll be able to support it. So thank you so much. We're just hitting the top of the hour, so thank you so much for coming on the show. So is there like any place else where people can find you if they want to like if they want to look at your stuff outside?
He's in the show notes.
Oh, no!
I'm in the show notes. Woo!
There we go.
I'm important enough.
That Indie Comics Network link tree brings you straight to Mike Jimmy too.
There you go.
And
You see,
if
it
you
was
want
that
everything fairies and ends, linktree/fairies and ends.
easy. Right, there you go.
That
So
will get
everything,
you to this crowdfunder as well.
yeah, so everything in the show notes below, as we always say. So there we have it, top of the hour. Mike Jimmy launching Life on Cora, the hardcover and the softcover edition, collecting issues 1 through 5 of Life on Cora. Every story is self-contained, so if you've never heard of this before, this is an excellent campaign to jump on. Even if you get the individual issues, they're one shots, so you're not missing out on anything.
Nope.
But I highly recommend collecting all of them, because why not, right? Why limit yourself, for that? So there you go. So I'd like to thank everybody who joined us in the chat. Thank you so much. And like I said again, thank you to everybody who supported the campaign and helped spread the word and whatnot. Thank you so much for the 14. Oh, look at that, Mr. 15. Oh, there we go. 15 again. Came back from the bathroom. Thank you so much for watching us. I see you next to the giant eyeball on my screen. Thank you so much for spending this hour with us. It's like, and I hope if you're not supporting the campaign now, you support it later as well. So here we are on this groggy Monday morning. This Monday afternoon now we're going into. So any that's true. That's true, right?
6 hours ahead.
So any final comments or anything about what's going on, Mike?
Buy Indie Comics. Check out the 24-hour comic challenge, and share the love.
There you go. Absolutely. Nita, any final words?
Tune in this afternoon for Fyke-It, Let's Draw with Hasm's Rodney Fyke, his draw stream. And tonight again, 8:30 p.m. Eastern on the Indie Comics Network After Dark, Shots with Comics.
There you go.
With Dill Perkins.
Oh, no. Sexy Dill Perkins.
Sexy Dill Perkins.
So that's it for me as well. If you want to learn more about me and my artwork, you can head on over to my main portfolio site at egoworks.com, EGOWORKS. You can find links to all of my galleries and social media sites, but I mostly post to Facebook if you're interested in seeing sketches and current work in progress, images, and real-time updates on everything that I'm up to lately. And remember that you can check out all my videos here on YouTube at Daphne Lage, Lage Art, through which also simulcasts through the Indie Comics Network. So join me again on Wednesday, while I'll be running my own drawing live stream on Wednesday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. I skipped last week, so we're going to make it up to you this week as well. And remember that you can read Eagle Raven Air the First Unicorn in its brand new Kickstarter format on my website. It updates every day, or you can download a free PDF of the first 16 pages, so you can check that out, so that you too can help support the campaign when that finally goes live. But if you prefer your fantasy to be more of a furry Lord of the Rings adventure, you can follow the link over to Tall Tales online. It's TAILS, and read the first 20 issues of Tall Tales for free. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. And of course, the ancients are feeling neglected. So in the words of the ancients, eat your food, moisturize, mind your business, and do the work, because when you actually do the work, you never have to fake any of your accomplishments, because why would you want to fake this? The work is worth it, people. Trust me. So we'll see you all later.
I'm gonna hit it right this time.
Hit it.
Good.